In this emotionally intense episode of Chicago P.D., the intelligence unit returns from a break, only to find Officer Torres grappling with resurfacing inner demons. Despite keeping himself busy with work, exercise, and spending time with his mother and attending church, Torres is still plagued by guilt and trauma that refuses to let him rest. His peace is further shattered when Brenda, a longtime family friend, comes to him in a panic. Her husband, Ivan Alvarez, had just been abducted by masked men in a white van. She'd called 911, but no officers responded, pushing her to seek out Torres, whom she trusted not just as a cop, but as someone who knew and cared about their community. Moments later, she received an alert from the bank. Ivan had withdrawn $1,900, the ATM maximum. Clearly, the kidnappers were forcing him to drain their accounts. Torres tracked the next withdrawal attempt and intervened, but he was ambushed and seriously injured. He passed out from blood loss, only waking when Voight and backup arrived. Torres refused medication, fearing it might destabilize his already fragile mental state. Now officially an intelligence case, the team uncovers a disturbing pattern. Ivan's abduction is one of several flash kidnappings in the Pilsen neighborhood, a tactic locals call the Millionaire's Tour. Victims with money are snatched, forced to make cash withdrawals, and often discarded. Budget cuts and indifference had left the area neglected, and the local police hadn't investigated prior incidents thoroughly. Brenda, losing faith in the system, initially refused to work with the cops any further. However, when the kidnappers contacted Brenda again, this time demanding $20,000, intelligence monitored her phone and set up surveillance. Brenda followed their directions, delivering the cash at her family's market. The exchange turned violent when the kidnapper showed up alone, with no intention of returning Ivan. He got aggressive, forcing police to intervene and fatally shoot him. Unfortunately, he carried no ID, only car keys linked to another unsolved kidnapping. Further investigation led Torres and Burgess to re-interview a past victim. This man, previously ignored by detectives who had written him off due to gang-related assumptions, finally shared information pointing to an abandoned paper mill. There, the team discovered Ivan's body. He had been murdered long before the ransom drop, confirming the kidnappers never intended to release him. The driver was eventually found and arrested. Torres convinced him to talk by warning he'd take the full murder charge otherwise. The man, a CPA with a gambling problem, admitted to targeting Pilsen because the community was unlikely to turn to law enforcement. He had teamed up with racists, one of whom, Mike Allard, killed Ivan. The surviving accomplice gave up Allard's location for a possible deal, not knowing Torres had made no such promise. In the end, Torres arrested Allard, who mocked him with a racist remark. Though furious, Torres held back, but his wound reopened, a reminder of his physical and emotional scars. Delivering the news of Ivan's death to Brenda was devastating. Later, while trying to unwind at a bar, Torres ran into a tattoo artist who had helped with the case, someone who offered to help him start the healing process, one step at a time.